Hey guys, I'm Rachel. Welcome to my first ever YouTube video, where I will show you how to make these rusty antique pressed tin panels for your miniature projects. I'm making mine for my Dollhouse of Horrors. I'll be installing my panels into this 1993 Fisher-Price dream house once it's primed and painted. I'll be gradually converting it into a realistically abandoned and creepy mansion. First up, you're going to need some polymer clay. Condition some dark clay and some white. I'm just using up some of my scrap clay. Stack the sheets together, reduce them down into a single thin sheet. If you're going for a rusty decayed look like me, then keep the edges raw and messy. Using a stamp that you like, tile the pattern and completely cover the surface of the clay. It doesn't need to be perfect, just align the design the best that you can. Grab some coarse sandpaper and press it down gently into the clay. Pay extra attention to the edges to create a corroded looking surface. You can also use this to add some detail to any areas that the stamp didn't imprint well. Scrunch up some tin foil and roll it over the surface to create some deeper cracks and pits. The more texture you add now, the more detail will be picked up later on when we start adding colour. Use a needle tool to punch and tear small holes into the clay. Remember that anything that you pull upwards will appear to be hanging down once flipped over and installed onto a ceiling. There's no right or wrong way to do this, so just have fun and experiment. Don't forget to pay some extra attention to the edges to create the effect of rust and corrosion. Cut your sheets while the clay is still raw using a craft knife or a tissue blade. You could also use a clay cutter or a cookie cutter to easily make identical panels. Unfortunately for me, all of mine need to be very different sizes, so a quick paper template does the trick. I like to also keep all the small offcuts, just to give the impression that these bits have rusted through and fallen to the floor. Now let's add some colour using matte acrylic paints and some crappy old brushes. The crappier the better. I highly recommend looking at some reference images of rusty metal while you do this. It'll give you more realistic results. Use a mixture of warm colours to create natural looking variation. Just roll the brush between your fingers and it will give you random marks rather than a repetitive pattern. You can use water to make a dirty wash, scrub back areas with a wet brush and blot with your finger or paper towel. The more variety, the more realistic it will begin to look. Gradually build up many layers of texture, working from the darker shades up to the lightest colours on the raised areas. To add even more detail, we can add some rusty stains using alcohol inks and alcohol ink extender solution. You can buy alcohol ink extender or make your own, it's quite easy. I'll leave a link to my DIY recipe below. If you don't have any alcohol inks, this step isn't crucial, so don't stress. You can still get great results just with the matte paints. And there you have it, rusty antique pressed tin panels to use in your miniature projects. Thanks for joining me today. If you found this video useful, let me know in the comments below. Hit the like button and subscribe if you don't want to miss any future vids. Thanks guys, bye!